Hey, what's up, guys? This is Taylor, and this is a game of free-for-all on Seatown, and I do pretty well. I think I might actually be kind of playing it conservatively, camping a little bit, but who gives a shit? Doesn't matter, not the point of the gameplay. But yeah, anyway, as far as Seatown is concerned, it's a fun map, but it's really not made very well for free-for-all. I don't know if that really makes sense. I just feel like it's too big, because I mean, back in Black Ops, when they did have a big map for free-for-all, they would wall parts of it off, but now it's just a huge, giant, full-size map with 8 people running around, and it's really easy to just get lost in the middle of the map, or like what happens to me a few times in this game, where you end up trying to play it safe and running around the outside of the map and ending up not seeing anyone because of how massive the map is. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Well, I guess it is here, but I don't want to talk about it, so we're going to put it over there. And I was thinking because I saw a movie on my TV that was for like a Christmas special or something. It's not specifically Christmas, I don't think. Or actually, no, it definitely is. Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2 was the one where he goes to New York and he has to survive in that really big kind of warehouse thing while those two degenerates, one of whom is also the guy who dies, Jimmy from Goodfellas. It's not Jimmy. It's one of them from Goodfellas, and the one who's always cursing and making a fuss. And please tell me that you guys aren't too young for this movie. Has everyone seen this movie? Has everyone seen Home Alone? Please. Like, I know that it came out when I was kind of young, and so I'm pretty sure it's probably too old for you guys. But essentially, the premise of the story is, over and over, these negligent, terrible parents who should not be responsible for a tarantula, let alone a child, forget about their son and leave him alone, and he has to try and survive, and it just turns from, it takes a situation that would undoubtedly be appalling and horrifying to even the most stoic of children and makes it into a joke. And so that's basically the story. And as a kid, you always think of yourself as some just, badass, just some awesome badass. Like, when my mom would say things like, oh, anyone can get hit by a car and die, anyone can get taken by a child molester or something, or that took a pretty dark turn. But you're a kid, so you always think, oh, but that's not me, that doesn't apply to me, I'm different, I'm way different. And it's just funny. I was thinking about this the other day because that same mindset went into thinking about Home Alone for me, because every time I watched that movie, I always thought, I didn't think like, oh, I'd be so scared, I wouldn't want to be fighting against two adults by myself. I was always like, oh, hell yeah, I hope this happens. I hope these two mofos come up in my crib, and then I can set up all these elaborate traps and own them, because I'm totally awesome, because I'm an invincible kid, and these are just two grown adults. And I mean, I could totally have seen a situation when I was like 7 years old or something like that, where if a couple of burglars did break into my home, just one night they break in and I'm the first one there and I'm alone, I probably wouldn't have called the police. I probably would have been like, oh, hell yeah, Home Alone, you time to go get marbles and things to burn them with and just stuff like that. Like, and I guarantee that I was not nearly as clever as that actor, and that those two burglars that entered my home would not have been as idiotic as those two actors were either. And so I probably would have been raped or worse, or, well, I don't even know it would be worse than rape. They could have killed me. They could have killed me because of that movie. So for this reason, I am calling a holiday season boycott of Home Alone, and everyone who watches it is a foe of mine. No, I'm kidding. Just trying to think of the most ridiculous possible way to take that. But yeah, so anyway, one thing, back to the gameplay. I'm finding that I'm doing this now a lot, where I just jump in and out of stories and anecdotes with the gameplay tips. But one thing I've found with this map is that if you are not willing to, if you don't care about what the gameplay looks like and you really just want to do well and try and do your best to get some cool kill streaks and maybe have a high KD, then I'd recommend you staying in this area as long as possible. You can see right here that it's supremely easy to hold off this little corner, especially when you've got the easy sprayer, sprinkler gun machine things that are just absolutely ridiculous. Like these, I'm very rarely one to call overpowered. I'm not one of those complaining, bitching, and moaning kind of people who's going to be like, oh, hit markers are a little bit too iffy or something like that. But on the serious note, like these Akimbo FM9s or FM69s, whatever the hell they're called, those are ridiculous. We need to get those under control. Kind of like that guy Jonah Hill. He got his weight under control. Good for him. Have you guys seen him? He's the really, really fat guy who used to be in all the Seth Rogen movies who isn't Seth Rogen. He's like, imagine Seth Rogen, but even more... I should probably premise this. Imagine 2007 Seth Rogen, but like 1,000 pounds more than him, and more Rogen-y than him. And that's Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill, is that right? Yeah. I get it confused. I'm pretty sure one of them is the dad of the other. No, I'm kidding. That's how rumors start. But yeah, so good for him. I always have a lot of respect for celebrities who stay fat for a long time and then decide to lose weight. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, like, why not stay fat? You built your whole career on being the funny fat guy. Don't take that away from me now. Don't you do that to me. Don't you tantalize, or don't you titillate me with thoughts of you in hilarious roles and great movies as a funny fat guy and then just lose weight on me. That's not cool, man, because people who are in good shape are not as funny because you don't feel kind of bad for them, so you don't get that kind of empathy laugh. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Because good-looking people aren't as funny. They're just not. And I think the real reason for that is that good-looking people don't have to develop as much of a character as people who aren't as attractive, and so it seems as though people who aren't as attractive has to compensate for it with really exceptional personality traits. But who knows? You know, that's just me. That's just propaganda, most likely. Yeah, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I kind of just rambled, forgot what we were talking about for the last couple minutes, but oh, man. But MP7. One thing with the MP7 that I've found is extended mags may seem like a good idea, but really it's not. It's just excessive and it's unnecessary. If you can't kill them with a normal amount of bullets with this gun, then just don't get greedy. Like, there's no point. Honestly, I've used almost every attachment on this gun, and probably my favorite one is the silencer. And then after that, actually, after that, I probably just like the hammer scope, just because that thing is so unique with the custom zoomability. I think that's the technical phrasing of it. But yeah, speaking of which, have any of you guys used the hammer scope? Leave a comment if you've been using the hammer scope very often, and let me know what you think about that, because I haven't really enjoyed it except for on the MP7. All the other guns that I use it on, it doesn't feel as good, but who knows? You know, sometimes you just gotta try different equipment and see what feels the best. Am I right? I'm right. There you go. That's for sure. But anyway, so let me know what you guys want to see in my next video. Game types are appreciated, so I know what to play. Topics are appreciated, so I know what to say. And dragons are appreciated, so I have something to slay. And without further ado, that is the end of the video, even though I just said a phrase that is commonly associated with the beginning of things. And that is the end, and I love you. Good night. Leave a rating. Or die, eventually. You know. Goodbye.
Had more kills for you to move around.